In this video, I'll be sharing with you how to cut this backless stylish underbust dress. And this dress is from Classy Chic Looks. If this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. So this dress is a requested tutorial and I'm to draft the upper part of the dress, but I will be also explaining the lower part of this dress. Now, the first thing you need to do is to mark your shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to waistline. Now, after you're done marking that, you're going to mark your shoulder divided by 2 and come down by 1 inch. After you're done marking that, go ahead to place your ruler and draw out your shoulder slope. The next step is to find your chest line, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. The next step I'm going to take is to go ahead to draw out a straight line at that point. Now, I'll mark back what I have on the shoulder and I'm going to mark. And after I'm done marking that, I'll go ahead to place my ruler and I'm going to draw out a straight line. Next, I'm going to divide what I have at the armhole area into 2. Now, I'll come in by ½ inch, go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'll go ahead to connect from this point all the way to the midpoint and extend it to the upper part of my pattern. And after I'm done marking that, the next step I'm going to take is to mark or impute my body measurement. I'm going to mark my bust circumference divided by 4 at the bust. Then go ahead to add ½ inch to my pattern. After this, I'm going to mark my under bust circumference divided by 4 and add ½ inch. Mark my waist circumference divided by 4 plus ½ inch. Now, after I'm done marking this, I'm going to go ahead to connect this from the upper part to the waistline. And after I'm done connecting this to the waistline, I'm going to go ahead to start altering my pattern. And to alter my pattern, I will first of all go ahead to mark my neckline. Next, I'm going to mark a basic neckline of 3 inches. And from this point, I'm going to connect it to or blend out my shoulder very well. Now, I'll take this neckline, I'll come in by ½ inch at the under bust. And I'll go ahead to connect this all the way to this point. I came in by ½ inch at the under bust first before going ahead to mark that measurement. The next step I'm going to take is to draw out my under bust. And at the under bust, I'll go ahead and outline it. So after I'm done outlining this part, I'll go ahead to measure at least about 3 to 4 inches here and I will draw out. So this part totally depends on how wide you want the shoulder area to be. And I'll go ahead to connect this to the under bust and I will come in a little to the main line of my under bust measurement. So you want to blend it out because you don't want this part to be a bit pointy. The next step I'm going to take is to go ahead for the upper part. You're going to add an extension for the back, which you use to tie at the back. That is the bow at the back of the dress. So this totally depends on what you want or how long you want it to be. But whatever the width is, it should match with that of what you have on the actual pattern before the length, which you can use about 10 to 20 inches. Now, I'll go ahead and cut out this pattern. Now, I'll also be explaining the smoky area at the under bust of this dress. Now, at this part, I'm going to go ahead to mark this area because I want to add like a slash and spread effect at this side of my pattern, and I'm going to go ahead to cut out. So when you're making this dress, if you notice the side, it has little gathers. So at this side, you want to open it up and you're going to trace this round. And while tracing, you're going to add ½ inch round your pattern and then extend the shoulder part to about 20 inches for the bow at the back. So depending on how lengthy you want the rope at the back to be. So now I'll use this front pattern to cut out my back pattern because we have a smoky effect on this pattern. So your measurement at the front and at the back is the same and there's no dart on this pattern. So I'll go ahead to label this. After this, we're going to cut out the smoky effect. You know that when you're cutting out your dress and it has like a smoky effect on it, you have to add like extra inches to your dress. So you can add about 3 to 5 inches. So the more you add, the more effect you have on the dress. So for both the front and back pattern, I'm adding extra 5 inches, and whatever I'm adding is on fold. So this 5 inches is like 10 inches. That is 5 inches on fold, and you'll be doing this for both the front and the back. That means on the front pattern you have added extra 10 inches to your actual measurement, and on the back pattern you have actually added extra 10 inches on your back pattern. Now you're going to cut this out. If you also notice, the dress does not really have like a zipper at the lower part. That is why your smoky or the underbust area should be very stretchy, right? So now, to show you the extra allowance I added on this pattern, I'm just going to fold it out. So this is my actual measurement, but if you add the extra 5 inches on both sides, you have 10 inches. So you can go ahead to smoke your pattern separately, then go ahead, place it and join it with ½ inch. But if you don't want to do that, you can go ahead to join your pattern as one, then go ahead to smoke it. Like anyone you want to do, or anyone that is suitable for you, you can go ahead to do it that way. But if you're going to cut it together, if you want to smoke it together, you have to tape your pattern as one piece this way. Cut out your fabric as one piece before you now use your smoky thread to go ahead to do now this. For the lower part of this dress, which is the flay, what you need to do is, let's say your waist measurement is 34, you're going to add extra inches to it. Let's say you can cut like 44 instead of 34, or you can even use 54. Add extra inches to it, and you're going to be cutting out 2 layers of flay. One will be shorter and the other one will be longer. Then you're going to go ahead to attach it to the upper part of this dress. But you have to also gather the waistline so that it will fit the waistline of what you have at the upper part of the dress.